examples about how confident we could be in God's plan. I was reading, and we went through a little transition in our little leadership team of the gathering. And so we were looking for, more leaders. Just so happened that my devotion that morning was Acts 1. And so they lost Judas the disciple, and maybe, and so then they were like, well, we need more disciples. And the Spirit told them, hey, we need to get disciples quickly. So you know what they did? They cast lots. No fasting. There ain't no super duper home. No, we're going to cast these lots, and we're going to trust that God's going to make these things move the way we need to move them. Now, that's a little crazy, right? But that's how confident they were. Like, really? Boom. Genesis, my favorite story, Abraham and Lot. Gina already preluded to it. Lot's like, I want this land. Abraham's like, it don't matter. You can take this one, you can take that one. Right? Because the will of God is not a geographic location, it's a state of being, right? So it doesn't matter where I end up, if I'm in God's will, I'm good. Take the stress off of it and put more stress on who God claims himself to be. Now we're not testing him, but we're resting in the fact that he accomplishes all things for our life. So whether I end up being a chemical engineer, or whether I end up teaching the boys' orchestra, or whether I teach the little fourth graders, it's all good. Because I know he's ordering these steps, he's making paths open for me, and he's accomplishing the thing, not me, right? Last but not least, I think the most important thing as we kind of just close up all on the future, the most important thing is for us to be able to hear the voice of God for ourselves, right? And that's not to say that you don't need the community to be able to help you discern and think through some things. Listen to me, especially community people. Your role in helping somebody decide a matter is helping them think through things, not giving them answers. That's not your role. Have you considered? Have you thought about? Have you prayed about? Have you took this into consideration? Your role is not to say you don't need to do that, especially when it's not a matter that is not a clear this is right and this is wrong. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah, you do? Your role is to say, hey, just think about that, pray about that, consider this. Even when you clearly want a person to go in a specific direction. Let's take it even deeper, especially as, all of us think even about relationships. In our mind, we're like, oh, you should definitely not be with her. Have you thought about this, my brother? Right? Have you prayed about that? Have you asked her about this? Don't ever but God telling me about me? No. Leave that alone. One thing Gina have always said, if God can tell you, he'll tell me. Especially when it concerns me. Right?
And don't make my God out of a liar either.
So write these scriptures down. 1 Corinthians 2, 9 and 11.